Today we are heading to an area called NoMad. So this neighborhood, NoMad, it's not an area where a bunch of people are roaming around without permanent homes. It is actually considered north of Madison Square Park. So behind me is Madison Garden, which moved around a few times in the history of New York. Ahead of me is the Empire State Building. That's on 33rd, 34th, 5th Avenue. But when we cross 6th Avenue, we will be in NoMad, which is north of Madison Square Park, which is further down, further south. You may have seen a bit of it on my video, which covers the Gramercy area. So we had walked around Flatiron, Gramercy. I think the Flatiron neighborhood is closest to Madison Square Park. And then north of that is NoMad. Not a very big neighborhood, just a few blocks north-south from maybe 30th to the park, and 6th Avenue for another 2 or 3 blocks east. And that's NoMad. It is filled with high-rises, a lot of hotels, like the Virgin Hotel. I think I'm going to Arlo Rooftop right now, and a lot of condos as well. So NoMad, a small neighborhood named for being north of Madison Square Park. Let's go take a look. Christopher Butt here for the Corcoran Group. Remember to follow, like, and subscribe so you can see more neighborhoods in New York City and learn about the history here and how to find a home. Oh, this is a busy intersection here. 33rd and 6th Avenue. You can see a lot of commerce. 34th is the really big street over there. Herald Square, Macy's, you can see a bit of it. But now we're going to go a little bit south into NoMad. Let's go through this little park here. A very, very busy day today. Almost 90 degrees in the summer. New York City, the shade feels really good. This is Horace Greeley Park, just a little island where Broadway crosses over 6th Avenue. Broadway does this to a lot of avenues, creates these little cutouts, triangular cutouts. There's Horace Greeley, and we have another interesting little neighborhood here. It is Koreatown. So hopefully we will get to walk through Koreatown a bit. Right now we're heading to NoMad. That is Koreatown over there. And we will go south. And as you can see, you're already beginning to see signs of NoMad. There, that building says NoMad. Earlier we had seen some of the Ladies Mile buildings. This is reminiscent of that architecture. That's on 6th Avenue in the 20s. That's a little further down. But you do get some really good architecture from a previous era. We have the entrance to the Virgin Hotel, if you can see that behind me. A very prominent NoMad feature. And all these tall buildings, some apartment buildings, some hotels, as I mentioned. That's the Virgin Hotel. A new building going up there. Another building on 5th Avenue, another condo. So this is sort of the feel of NoMad, the area which is north of Madison Square Park. This area has the really tall buildings, but also you get a lot of these older shops selling knickknacks, pale waxing jewelry. NoMad Works, it's an old building with shops in it. SK Global Trading, import-export. Solid gold jewelry over there, Indian small plates. So a very mixed neighborhood in terms of small business and huge skyscraper buildings. Condo on 5th Avenue. So we are going to cross 5th Avenue in search of Arlo Rooftop. I don't know what that is, but it is massive. Very tall. Some more perfume, beauty. Another tall building coming there, no doubt. Rini McGovern, that's a construction firm. It's a nice little, whenever they pull down some of these buildings and get ready to build a really tall one, gives you a little insight into block by block what they look like over there. Flatiron, NoMad. And here we get a nice little poster. These things line the streets in various districts. This is the Flatiron NoMad district. Sugaring NYC. Beautiful old building there. All you can eat sushi. Another old building here. And then a super tall, well, not super tall, but very tall building on Fifth Avenue. It's 281. So you go from that to that. And you go one block north here, past the textile building. At one point, a lot of the area in the 30s was known as the garment district. The Schmata district. So here we are walking through the 30s, but a little further east. From here on west was the textile and the garment business. That was, as I said, various districts within the city. Spoke about the flower district when we were going through the Chelsea area, well, sort of eastern Chelsea area. Spoke about lighting, kitchenware on the Bowery. So the various districts were in the old days before you had the internet. You just need to go there. Something like some soaring views. The Empire State Building. You don't get too much of that anymore with more and more tall buildings popping up. Here we have another example. This is where we're headed, the Arlo, which is a very tall building. On the other side we have this very old Hotel Chandler. Look at that. That's an early 20th century piece. You can see more high-rise condos. And even above that, let's see, I can step to the other side before I get hit by a cab here. Give you a better idea of the Arlo Hotel, but they do have a rooftop. There we go. It's pretty tall. NoMad Diner, part of the hotel. So let's see if we can get more views here. All right, look at this. Now we're on the Arlo Rooftop. Plenty of sunshine. Oh, I've been here. Look, I might have been here before. All right, let's look straight down. How does everybody feel about that? There's the building that I showed before, the older building. It's hard to see through the dots, but that is the street. It's very bright up here. You see a lot of these NoMad buildings. That is the East River way over there. There's a condominium building here, older little condominium building there, and this Fifth Avenue building. Cars on rooftops. Empire State Building, she says, right up there. Believe it or not, we have seagulls. Look at that. There we are, the Arlo Rooftop. Let's go get a drink. Oh, is it a helicopter? No. Christopher Butt here. A little bit of NoMad at night. NoMad, the district north of the Madison Square Park. It's got a lot of restaurants and hotels. Just came up from a lounge, And we had a presentation in this interesting hotel here, the Seville NoMad. Beautiful old pre-war building and very nice hotel. Over there we have Park Avenue, and this way we have a church that was converted. The land was bought, the church is still there, but it was converted into a condominium. And there we have the condominium. There's the Empire State Building. It's blue tonight. Every night has a significant color. We go down here, there's another beautiful bar. It's all in the same Seville hotel. I was downstairs in the lounge there with live music. This is obviously a parking garage, but the Anagram is a high-end rental building. There's one by Lincoln Center, which is a lot more expensive than this one, I'm sure. Even though this is downtown, that's a ground-up new building. But we also have the Ace Hotel. I'll show you a little bit of that. This is, again, some scaffolding, but this is pretty fancy. You can see it's not the plain old scaffolding that you see in the rest of the city. These lovely arches and things, but it's all temporary structure here. While this building, whichever building this is doing their local law 11. I've certainly spoken about local law 11 in almost every video I do, because there's always some building or a bunch of buildings that are doing their local law 11 here in the city. And their local law 11 means they have to set up the scaffolding and check every brick and piece of the facade to make sure nothing falls down on us. It's done for every building, I believe, above 5 stories, once every 5 to 10 years, depending on certain things. So let's go here on 5th Avenue. Again is the dividing line. We've got a lovely church over there on that corner, the Empire State Building all the way up there, and try to get across the street here. Always some construction. One of the bears or gorillas in the room is construction, whether it's a road construction or I believe it's a new building over there. Ooh, that's pretty tall. So we can't walk there. We have to come to this side, and we'll go back to the other side and see some more of that scaffolding. Like an art gallery, Marble Collegiate Church. So that's the one we saw across 5th Avenue. And there's a huge King Kong over here. Some more NoMad buildings, hotels. I think we saw the Virgin Hotel, and there are a few others. This is an empty lot, parking spot. How long is that going to be a parking spot? And there's something that will not be a parking spot. There's slated to be a construction over there. Always developing. I think there's a limit to the amount of land here, but for some reason, there's always more. There, we're coming up on the Sister Bar, as part of the Ace Hotel. Stumptown Coffee. This is the Ace Hotel here. Beautiful old building. This whole room is the bar, as well as the lobby of the hotel. People sitting there working. Got some events in here sometimes. We are 3 to 7. It's a nice place to chill out. So right here on 19th Street, the Ace Hotel. Can be a bit of a scene at times. That was a nice little experience. You're only in there for a couple of seconds, but have been in there for hours. Even after some of our major office events, we end up there, spend the rest of the night. And I've been to other art events and things in that space. Here's the milk bar, Momofuku milk bar. Japanese flavor, cookies, confections. I don't see the word Momofuku anymore. Maybe it's just milk now. You know how things change their names and get too complicated for the regular public. They shorten the name so people can understand it. So that's the milk bar. This generation. Yes, a little later at night now. Still beautiful weather here in the city. A lot of people sitting outside. There's an office building. And there's a restaurant. Adresse. Social hour. Oysters, $2. Okay, we'll go for that. Here's again our Amazon delivery vehicle. Pedal around the streets. Venchi, of course, a very prevalent Italian brand now here in the city. Straight out of Italy. Chocolates and ice cream, gelato. Zaitina, pretty high-end restaurant here. A little bit of NoMad at night for you. This beautiful old ladies' mile type buildings. Tin Pan Alley. So West 28th Street was known as Tin Pan Alley. Must have been some musicians here, some jazz back in the day. And that takes us to our subway stop. I probably need the other direction to go uptown. So that has been a little of the nightlife here. That's a nice bright light from the ad in NoMad. Nightlife in NoMad here in Manhattan, the 20s, right above Madison Square Park. Don't forget, follow my channel, subscribe, and contact me. Information below. Find an apartment in this area or any part of the city, or pretty much any part of the country, some other parts of the world as well. Christopher Butt, for the Corcoran Group.